Welcome to the Differential Show, Game Week 14 Transfer Guide. Before we start, make sure you hit that subscribe button. So let's get right to it. Newcastle had a great result against Chelsea, winning 4-1, and Gordon was a part of it, having a goal and assist. At 5.8, he's great value. He's projected to get over 5 points this game week, and he's averaging over 6 points per 90. My suggestion is to bring him in this week, even though a lot of us are going to be bringing in Mbuemo. Moving on to Lascelles, he did have the goal this week, no clean sheet. He's averaging just over 4 points per 90. My suggestion is game week 17 unless you're looking to fund someone else. Isak, it always happens, whether it's Wilson or Isak, the striker position, when they come from an injury back into the squad, they always score, just like this week. Isak scores, he's averaging over 8 points per 90. I know he's projected to get 3.6 this coming game week, but he is going to be the lone person up there since there is no Wilson for a while. My suggestion is this week if you're looking for a differential up front. As we move over to Crystal Palace, Eze had the price rise this week. Unfortunately, he got injured. It looks like, I think it's a hamstring or an Achilles. Couldn't really totally tell. I was actually watching this game, but he went down just, I believe, right after halftime. Unfortunate. So he is an easy sell, probably to someone like Gordon. Moving to Gahey, 4.6 good value, but the fixtures are running out with just West Ham away and then Bournemouth home. After that, it's pretty tricky, so he's an easy sell at game week 16. And then since Eze is out, there's more opportunity for Lise, who did score in this game. He's just coming back from injury, great value at 5.8. And he is projected to get 3.6 points this week. So if you're looking for a punt for a couple weeks, I would suggest Elise. Chelsea's a very interesting team based off the fixtures ahead. Brighton at home, Man U away, Everton away, Sheffield United at home, Wolves away, and Crystal Palace at home. Palmer's really the asset that we're looking at. 5.2, great value. Projected to get 5 points this game week and averaging over 6 points per 90. My suggestion is to bring him in this game week if you don't feel comfortable with Gordon, or bring in both of them. Moving on to Colwill, he's a player that we probably brought in during our wild card, hoping that he would be the golden defender that had to have during the game week 17 and on run, where they have great fixtures, but he has not featured in the last couple matches, so he's something to keep an eye on. And then James got the red card, so not a lot to talk about. He's a high-end player when he's available, but he's never on the field, so it's a player that I don't really want to spend too much time talking about. Moving on to City, great game against Liverpool. Haaland, most of us have him. He's averaging over 8 points per 90. He's projected to get 8.5 this game week, so definitely a captaincy option. And then if you're looking to double up in that possible double game week in 20, Walker's the consistent 90-minute man at 5.3, great value. Projected to get over 4 points this game week, and he's just averaging over 3 points per game week. Game week 13 was all about Bowen, and in the end, he didn't play. Who benefited? Kudus. At 6.6 value, he's projected to get 3.9 points this game week. He's averaging just under 7 points per 90. My suggestion is to bring him in this week, especially if Bowen is out. You know he's going to play for 90 minutes plus, and he's definitely looking lively and creative on the field. Moving on to Liverpool, great result against City to get the tie. Salah is an easy add if you have the funds. He's got Fulham at home, Sheffield United away, and Crystal Palace away. You can see 3 captains right there, right in a row. He's worth bringing in, getting him out in 21, and then bringing him back after AFCON. Moving on to Nunez, something that we learned from this past game was that he's nailed. So when Gapco came on, he actually came on in midfield, and Nunez still stayed on the field, letting us know that Nunez is the featured player up front. And since he's on the most attacking, or one of the most attacking teams that gets the most goals in the league, I would say Nunez is a essential player at this point. At 7.5, great value. He's projected to get 6.3 points this game week, and he's averaging just over 7 points per 90. My suggestion is bring him in if you don't have him already. And then Simicast is just the value, 4.7 in the back. Robertson's not back just yet, so if you're looking for a defender, he's an option. He's projected to get over 4 points this game week. He's averaging just over 7 per 90, which is amazing. And like I said, he's got some good fixtures in a row, even for defense. So I know he's got 2 away games out of 3. They don't do great away, but if you're looking for some sort of someone to move off of in defense, Simicast is your guy. Game week 14, we're finally here. We can all just bring in Mbuemo, because that's what we've been talking about for the last 3 weeks, right? And why not? He's playing Luton at home. He's got Brighton away, then Sheffield United away, and Aston Villa at home with the blank, and then Wolves right after, and then possibly the double right after that. At 6.9, that's a great value. He's on penalties. He's projected to get 5.9 this game week. He's averaging just less than 6 points. My suggestion would be to bring him in this week, but you will either have to sub him, like put him on your bench, or transfer him out in 21 with the AFCON Cup. Moving on to defenders. If you're looking to downgrade a defender, say you have Tripp and you want to somehow fund Salah or someone else like a Son, then you are looking at some budget defenders, and Pinnock is a good one because he will have the double. So at 4.6, good value as a 4th defender. He's projected to get 4.7 this week. He's averaging just over 3 per 90, and I would say bring him in this week if you can. And then for wildcard teams out there, Flecken is the goalkeeper because of the double. He's projected to get 4.3 points this week, and he's averaging just over 3. And my suggestion, if you're not bringing him in this week, to wait until 16. Moving on to Arsenal, great defense, not much going on offense, but when there is some offense, Saka has something to do with it. So at 8.7, that's great value. As someone that is a part of all of the goals so far, it seems like this season. Most of them are coming as an assist, but he is averaging just under 7 points per 90. He's projected to get 6 points this week, and he is a low-end captaincy shout. Moving on to the defenders, where our real focus should be. I talked about Saliba and Gabriel before, but now I'm going to talk about the other two. Zinchenko at 5.0, usually he's either getting injured or subbed out or not playing at all, but he is strung together some games where he's playing the entire game, which is amazing. He's projected to get 4.1 game points this week, and he's averaging just over 6, which is awesome. My suggestion is to bring him in this week. If you're looking for a 4th defender option, the Swiss Army knife and Tomiyasu at 4.5, that's great value. He's projected to get 5.1, so even more than Zinchenko, and he's averaging just under 5 points per 90. Last season, Brighton had some of the best assets you could have for FPL. You had Matoma, you had McAllister, you had Estupiñán. This year, Estupiñán's injured. Matoma's inconsistent, and he's injured. And McAllister's on Liverpool. Who do we have on this team right now? Ndingra, 5.0, 90-minute player. He's projected to get over 3 points this game week. He's averaging just over 4 per 90. My suggestion is bring him in 15 based on he's just so cheap. If you want to punt with high risk, Gross at 6.3. He does play. He's going to be in the starting squad. You just don't know where on the field he's going to be playing. So he did well this game week. He is projected to get 3.2 points for this game week, and he's averaging just over 4 going forward. So looking at Forest, I really like Forest. I'm intrigued by them. I think they have some good differentials on that team. I like Iwanié, but he is obviously injured. With a groin injury, he'll be out forever. So someone we want to look at it would be Gibbs White at 5.7. Nice differential, low budget player, projected to get 4 points this game week, and he's averaging just under 4 points per 90. I can see that going up in the future as he has some good game weeks coming ahead of him. He's at Everton home, you have Fulham away, Wolves away, Spurs at home, Bournemouth home, and then Newcastle away. And then 2 weeks in a row, Alenga scored a goal at 5.0. You can't beat it. I just talked about Ndingra at 5.0. Alenga might be even better. He's projected to get 3.6 points this game week, and he's averaging over 5 per game week per 90. So that's pretty intriguing. I would definitely consider that. I have it as a yellow, so a medium risk. But if you're looking to enable maybe bringing in Salah or bringing Haaland back, he's someone you would want to keep in mind. Aston Villa just had a great game. Well, I would say great game because it was kind of fun to watch, but if the players playing probably thought it was very sloppy. There's a lot of mistakes going on in that game, but they won 2-1 against Spurs. And someone that just stood out was Pau Torres. He had a return off of a free kick from Luiz. He had one just miss earlier in the game at 4.6, great value. He's projected at 3.2 points this game week, and he's averaging just under 4 points per 90. My suggestion is to bring him in game week 18. Moving on to Luiz, he was the one that assisted the ball to Pau, and he's someone to consider since we just thought him as a penalty taker, but now he is bringing in returns through assists at 5.6, great value, good differential. Moving on to Diaby, he's an easy drop. His minutes are gone down. He seemed to have fallen out of favor a little bit. He's still starting, but Bailey can come in, Tielemans can come in for him, so there's some more options that weren't there earlier. So my suggestion is to drop him for someone like Gordon or Mbuemo. Moving on to Spurs, the standout on that team is really Porro, but he's taking free kicks from anywhere on the field, left, right, center. So as long as I keep on connecting on those, he is an easy buy now player. As I have him as green, he's pretty safe. They are playing City coming up, but if you're looking at your top 3 defenders in the back, my suggestion that would be to Arsenal and then Porro. And moving on to Son, he's not one I would want to bring in or drop unless you are looking to add Salah and you have the funds to do so. So my top 3 transfers for this week would be as followed. Mbuemo is more than likely going to be the most transferred in player. He has great fixtures, he's on penalties. There's not much to talk about. I would bring him in first. Second would be Gordon. He is consistently starting on the top line. They have decent fixtures going forward, and the results are there. And then finally, my third transfer in would be Kudus. Actually, I would definitely keep tabs on the Bowen situation, but Kudus is someone that would be a great differential if you're looking for someone different. As for captaincy, I would state it as this: Salah number 1, just based off it's a home fixture against Fulham, compared to Haaland, who's number 2, who has a home fixture against Spurs. And then my sneaky differential captain of the week would be my number 1 target for transfer in would be Mbuemo. So those are my 3 going forward. That is it for this edition of the transfer guide for the differential show. I'm FPL Marty. I'll see you next time. And make sure you subscribe.